My name is Christopher. I'm gonna have my guest here for today's show. And we should brush some of the issues concerning the current politics. So I'm gonna give him a chance to introduce himself to our audience. So Karim.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Charles Nganga, former MCA representing Jagakot. National Executive Committee member of County Assembly Forum and currently elected J Court. Happy to be hosted by you.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Nganga, that you said you are an aspirant MCA, and you can even tell us from which year to which year did you serve your ward?
Thank you for point of correction. I was not an aspirant MCA. I am a former MCA. It's from between year 2017 to 2022. I represented Jagakot. And the sort of the role which we had been playing there is oversight representations and legislature. And then within that period, I was elected as the county chairman for Muranga, then the chairman for Mount Kenya, and later National Executive Committee for County Assembly Forums. And within that period, still I have been also a chairman for Pick and Pack. What I mean by the word Pick and Pack is Public Investment Committee and Public Account Committee as a chair.
Oh, thank you very much. So what made you not to continue with being MCA of that particular ward, since we know that in Kenyan Constitution 2010, it supports a two-term public service, that is 10 years.
No, let me correct you. Really, the Constitution of Kenya does not mandate such a thing. The Constitution of Kenya gives a person a chance to run for the seat of MCA, MP, Senator. It's only the limit is only for the governor and the president. Others do not have such a limit of 2 terms or something like that. So it depends on what you are aspiring to be. So that one is not a right way. It's supposed to be at least a 1 term. You can go 1 term. There is no anywhere there is a mandate that you have as an MP or an MCA or whoever, you can go for 2 terms. You can even go for forever as long as you die.
Thank you. Then now, what that before being a MCA, what motivated you to enter into politics?
Come up again.
What motivated you most to be a politician or maybe to serve the public?
What you need to understand is that each and every person look for green pasture. What I mean by word green pasture does not mean that I'm rearing animals. Green pastures mean I'm looking for a better position, and by that time it's a calling that I needed to go and serve my people and see how that I can elevate them from their position to the position I left them there. And then before then, I was also working with the National Civil Produce Board. I was a deputy inventory accountant, the whole Republic of Kenya. I had to resign for that job so that I can go and continue about the public policy.
Well, thank you very much. Now that you are MCA of that particular ward, I'm forgetting the name.
It's a ward.
What do you think about your people of you leaving your ward? Are they happy of you not being MCA, or they are just okay with whoever who is serving now?
Well, you cannot know about the loyaltiness of the peoples within the estate, because each and every person, whatever you have been elected, the member was elected, not nominated. So the main reason why you find the people, you can discuss about the people's ideology is far much different. It's so much different, because whatever I might be thinking about those people, probably whatever I'm thinking, probably they are not thinking about that. But on my side, you see, whenever you have been elected, or even if it's somebody who never voted for you, whatever you're passing there, you call you much more, however we voted for you, you wanted, you will not follow the things are there. So for somebody at my capacity to determine whether those people like me or not like me, that one is not possible, not unless I go and do a research. And you see now,
yeah,
we have what we call research and development. I have to use, but you see, there was another worse scenario when you are doing the research. Most of the people you may employ to do the research sometimes, and they may also buy an advantage of what you want to hear. They can give that grievances and bring it to you. So
sure.
Sometimes it's also very hard for somebody to do such a research. But you can do a research when you have other people from not the same area who are not even part and parcel of whatever has been happening.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm bad to contest. If I want to contest, I can contest. But for the time being, I'm content with what I'm doing. Because remember, at the university, we don't have those politics channels.
Yeah.
So what happens that when you have been already, before even I vied out of the National Serious Board, I went back again to university. I was then a lecturer there, and then at the time I decided, no, let me also put it off for lecturing job and go back again to vie for that seat. Remember on the same thing, on the same note, after the 2022, I also wanted to vie for the Senate seats and had even uploaded all the documents which were necessary needed by then. But fortunately, I had to leave out of the country and go to Dubai for MDX University at Dubai, and another one at the University, where I have spent a lot of time discussing and engaging the programs.
Thank you very much. There before, when you were MCA between 2017 and 2022,
Yes.
how were you balancing the public service that is having your people and your time with your family?
Well, that's a good question. You see now, when it comes to family issues,
Yeah.
always I remain the head of that family.
Yeah.
And what usually happens is that there's just the same thing as you operate a job, operating somewhere, and then you're operating at your home. So it's a question of what we call programming.
Yeah.
The moment you programs your event, the moment you programs your jobs, the moment you program everything, that's whatever. And remember, wherever you're talking about that, that is the main reason why we usually say that we have even the project management. All you understand about the project management, we have a project management cycle, where we talk about the project in seasons.
Yeah.
Planning, executions, and during the executions, at that angle you have what we call monitoring and evaluation. No, monitoring and controlling, and then you do the evaluation, and then you have the crossover.
Yeah.
So that is the project process.
Okay. Now, when you were MCA, still in the line of when you were MCA, member of County Assembly, how do you use to balance critics with the truth? Because now you know that everything is mostly in the media. There are the most people who are criticizing for the misinformation, they are misleading people. How do you use to balance the critics with the truth? That you know, maybe you are the only person who is knowing this is not the truth, but according to the public, they know they are taking it as the negativity.
Thank you very much. That's whatever. In a nutshell, you're talking about an euphoria where you might be having an euphoria which is taking the right and which is not talking the right thing about somebody and talking about those critics. Well, if you stay in a certain place and you don't get somebody criticizing you, then you are failure.
Sure.
So you have to understand that the people who are criticizing you are not criticizing you for your failure, they are criticizing you so that you can improve. They make such an arrangement of asking sort of the questions if they have in their mindset they are all right, not sadist. Because within the perimeter of the peripheral of those residents or those public figures, sometimes there are some you may even find sadist people within the level. Remember, even in time of the Bible, if you are you are Christian, you are not a Muslim, yeah. You need also to understand that even during the Bible times, there is such an issue that I don't recall about it, but there was such a verse where they were talking about 10 days, 5 were wise, and 5 were.
Wow. Let's just accept them that they were not wise.
No.
There were 5 wise, and others did not prepare for the journey.
No, they usually say that there were 5 ladies who were wise and 5 ladies who were not wise, which is okay.
Yeah.
But at that angle, you need to understand that even during that time, the wise 5 ladies and the foolish 5 ladies, they all grown up. They became grown up. Nobody died because he is full.
Yeah.
They all grown up.
They still survived.
They still survived. And it means even in the world, even later, where we have 5 people who are wise and 5 people who are
foolish.
And during that is the combination of how you can survive within the world. Remember, even in the world, we have 3 types of men. We have a wise man, we have an intelligent man, and we have a clever man. There are three different characters, different men altogether in the world. Wise man,
Clever man,
intelligent man,
and a clever man.
and clever man.
Now, what are the differences between the two? Because maybe our audience...
Not between the two, it's among the two.
Between
among the three.
Yeah.
Among the three.
Yeah.
A wise person is a person sometimes who listens for the sort of the gods and get guidance from the God.
Yes.
And the intelligent person is only a person who always get the books. And sometimes he combines the clever, he combines intelligence comes direct from the books. It comes direct from the books.
That's intelligence.
That intelligent person. And then a clever person is somebody who has got the books, but he has that character of calling people.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between them. And I can give you an example of that. Although I don't know whether it was part and parcel of the host, but
is a clever person the one being referred to as Mjanja, or
that's whatever? No, what usually happens, I want to give you a small things because you're even in politics. You remember somebody like Nelson Mandela, he was a vice president.
Yeah.
Then we had a president of Republic of Kenya who was Mwai Kibaki. He was an intelligent president. He was not even wise. He was not even clever, but he was.
But he shows his knowledge.
He was intelligent. And then we have another person I will not claim for the sake of the anonymity. That person is not a wise person. It's not an intelligent person, but a clever person. What I mean by clever is somebody who can con you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That is the type of
con man in other terms.
No, it's you are the one who is using that word con man. But I'm saying somebody who can cheat you, who can antagonize you using the brain.
Now, what is the difference between when I say someone who can cheat you in the brain or and a con man?
No, cheating doesn't mean it. When it comes to cheating, you can cheat somebody, but you don't con.
Yeah.
So there's that difference between cheating and conning.
So maybe
conning, maybe if I want to get a camera of this, a camera like this one,
yeah,
so that I can print you. If I want to get this camera,
yeah,
and probably this person who wants to sell this camera to me is aware that this camera can go for more than 10,000. And then I myself, or he himself comes direct to me and tells me, I have this camera and it's going for 2 shillings. And I get that camera. He told me to give me the money. I go and get the camera, I bring it to you. And I give her the money, then he has already called me. But he can come and tells me this thing I bought it at 200 shillings, 200,000. And probably he bought it at 16,000.
Yeah.
He had cheated me, but he has not conned me.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying it. Maybe our audience never even differentiated between the two. Now, when you are the MCA of your ward, what are your topmost things, achievements that you have achieved that you are so much proud of?
Well, there are many things which we did I think we are talking about the projects here.
Yeah.
Remember there are 3 types of projects in the world.
Yeah.
One of the projects we call dubious projects.
Yeah.
And then we have experimental projects, and we have the implemented projects. So I will talk about the implemented projects.
Let me pause you a bit. Are those projects the project within your ward, or they are just other projects outside where you are serving?
Which projects?
Maybe the ones you are saying, maybe dubious project.
Sorry.
Are they within your ward?
Thank you, my host. Okay. Yeah, they're within my ward.
Yeah.
They're within my ward.
Okay, thank you. Continue now.
Thank you. Sorry. What we talk about the dubious projects. Dubious projects are projects that cannot be sustained.
Yeah.
The projects that cannot be, they can be accounted, but they are not there. They don't have even value.
Yeah.
Those are the projects we call dubious.
Yeah.
Experimental projects are like now, whatever you're doing, an experiment using even the usage, something like that. That is what we call experiment. And implemented projects are those projects that have been done and they are right. So when I talk about myself, I will not talk about experimental projects. I will talk about
those that can still those
implemented projects and not dubious projects.
Yeah.
So in my ward, this was 2017. I had introduced In fact, what we have seen within the country which is coming up, that is something that we introduced, and we had even given that manifesto even to the national government when we were talking about free foods for the primary schools and for the secondary school. That is something that I introduced, and it's still currently happening even today. It's a continuous project. Within that period is that if you can check about those students who, some of them have already graduated, I can be in a position to boost about 100 students who have been part and parcel, who have also been caring for their fees and what have you. And those kids, I'm the one who managed even to make the payment for their exams and all of you, even the exam materials. But still, I also managed to have 10 boreholes implemented in my wards.
And they are still working.
They are still working. And in fact, by that time, I had also a good rapport with the Minister for Education and then Minister for Interior. He was a great friend of mine whom I could have gone and talked to him directly, as I was among the national peoples and the national figure. Even the president, by that time, we were discussing.
Yeah.
So then there is a sort of the roads within my Ichagak ward. We did a 17 kilometers tarmacking of the road. Not a question of graveling. Tarmacking roads from Managua town all the way to Ichagaki to Gaburi and to Jonah. It's a fully tarmac road. That is one side. You go to the other side from the Managua all the way to Monga Place, that is Pioneer School, all out to the Bombo area. It's already tarmac. It was at the tarmac and it's working, and it was tarmac in the right way.
Yes.
I also managed to put each and every road, most of the roads were graveled with the sands and all of you. I even had already a chance of having even accompanied some of the designers, some of those people who were working there. They were also part and parcel of myself, and even introduced those people that they quite there, who are also among the people who are in the structural engineering. So we were monitoring whatever the contractors are doing within our ward. And by that time, because of the power, sometimes we are also drunkard with power.
Yeah.
I could have even tell the contractor to stop whatever he's doing if I could have seen he's not doing the right thing. As long as I was also part and parcel of the project because I know about it. And within the county itself, I also introduced what we were calling Nyotayetu to Governor Mongo area.
Yeah.
He was a friend, and even today he's a friend, and we have been discussing about that project. So it's something that happens. I also remember I went all the way to Morocco and then again to America. This is Washington. This is where we are trying to see whether we can come and introduce what we call soya beans rather than changing the sort of the mandisi. See whether we can implement about soya beans which are good in nutrients. And then for that, you are to see whether we can open up. We can have something. We can open a factory, so that we can boost our people there. Yeah. Unfortunately, that did not materialize. But in my time, we also introduced the factories for the bananas. Remember, at Managua, our cash crop is banana. And then we don't have anything else, although we have this out on the coffee and what have you, but bananas are plenty. So we had to introduce such factories within our area.
Okay, thank you. Now, if I may ask you one question. Now that all the projects have been done in your ward, how would you have handled someone that you've given a contract to implement such a project and you've seen that he's not driving well or is not doing whatever you wanted? How would you have handled that person?
Well, you see,
maybe he has misused capital, so they are not enough for the implementation of the project.
You see, now that's whatever we usually talk about. That's why I was telling you about. You see, we have what we call monitoring, controlling evaluations. You don't wait until everything has been used to come and expose somebody. But when he is doing or she is doing whatever they are doing, you need to be there, to be part and parcel of monitoring. Remember, those projects which have been done there are not done there because of that person. He is doing it because you have already initiated. And therefore, if something happens wrong, it means those people or those publics which are out there, they are going to talk about you probably collaborated with that person, and that's why you misuse the money.
Okay, thank you. So, Honorable Manganga, now if I may ask you now, because you are a lecturer at JPAT, lecturing what? What was your field of profession.
Continue.
That one. So how do you compare when you are MCA? How do you compare your responsibility when you are MCA and today when you are just lecturing at the Quickmart?
Okay, let me tell you something like it's a good question. One thing you need to understand is that you work with persons.
Yeah.
And the sort of person when I was when I was just at an MCA there, I remember by that time we were working for only 3 days. It's only Tuesday, Wednesday, and they're not like these days. They have changed for only 2 days. So I had that day like a Monday, which was off day to come and see my people. I get their grievances, and then I present that grievance to the assemblies. And then on Friday, it was a day where I was also supposed to relax. In the same case, in the same capacity at the university, sometimes you operate above the units.
Yeah.
Depending on the timetable, sometimes I may find that within a day, like today, I might be having a unit, like 3 units, something like that. I need to readjust myself about that. But I think the sort of the question you asked is how do I relate the university and the public? I think that is what I had asked is also.
Now, for now, it is the roles. How do you compare your roles when you are the member of county assembly and today when you are
Thank you.
a lecturer of management?
Well, the roles are very different because that one is representing people, oversight, and legislature. But on the other side, it's a question of lecturing. There's no any other role. It's only lecturing, putting the exams on the table, marking the exams, and making sure that the students who do not perform well, they get suku, which is okay.
Yeah.
Get it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
now, if I may ask you, are you planning to be re-elected again, or your political field is now enough for where you are?
Well, this is a human error, and when you're talking about a human error, is that we are talking about people change with the times.
Yeah.
Remember, we talk about today. Who know about tomorrow?
No one.
So when you ask about the future, we just assimilate that tomorrow probably might be like this and that and that. I also remember sometimes during my times, there was a time I was saying that I would like, if I grow up, I would like to be a person like that. In fact, that I was just saying that if I grow up, I will be this and that. The thing is, you're also aspiring to be a different person since the time. So when it comes to a question of tomorrow, I just leave it to the highest persons within the world. And this is the God. But I don't think I have any issue that can bar me from not
aspiring from anything.
Aspiring. And it might be aspiring, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be aspiring. You know, what usually happens is that we have to look about the moods, how the people are behaving. And again, the main reason I have told you, which makes somebody to go back again to that area, is that if we compare the politics of our days and the politics of what is happening now, there's so much difference. Because most of the people who have been elected, and I think you need also to understand that for somebody to be elected in Kenya politics, it's only the governor and the president who are supposed to be educated or to be elected. For an MCA, MP, senator, women reps, all need to have zero education. Are you aware about that?
So you can even, do you mean you can even aspire being an MCA even when you are illiterate, as long as you are capable?
You are?
As long as you are capable and you have the passion of being.
What you need to understand is that during the Apaga chance, when we were doing the constitutions and constitutional amendments, we had said that for an MCA for somebody to vie for an MCA, for somebody to vie as an MP, for somebody to vie as a senator, for somebody to vie as any sort of an electoral position, we had suggested that each and every person should be having at least a minimum of a degree education.
Yeah.
But unfortunate thing is that during the 2013, the MP of MD voted that course will not be there, saying that most of them want to go and vie and they have not even managed to get a degree. And then when it came to 2022, the same MP who have been voted there still argued that they have not managed to get the degree. And then they also said that this is a question of discriminatory. You are discriminating somebody because you are educated and somebody is popular somewhere. So during that tenure, they delimited that crossing that somebody is supposed to be educated. And that's the main reason why you can even find you can be elected anywhere, not necessarily to be educated. Yeah. And that's why we usually say MCA, MP, Senator, Women, all those people are supposed to be the mandate is zero educations.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, now when you come to a point of members of the parliament, whatever you're talking about, and that's the main reason why I'm talking about saying that it's a very different case altogether. Do you know the same roles of an MP is the same role as that of an MCA? It's just a replica. And whatever happens at the top level, the same thing happens on the county level. In the national level, we have the president who is the top of the executive or the top executive. Yeah. On the side of the county government, we have the governors who are the top executive.
Yes.
So we have the national parliamentarians and we have county parliamentarians. This is MCA. For those national parliamentarians and for those county parliamentarians, you can even know that there is something that is not working well. Like now, I just seen the other day when the Ruto, I think your President Ruto was on the other side, Homa Bay, where he was signing that content, that rule saying that he is now mandating the MCAs to be independent.
Yeah.
Remember, even during our time, we were not independent by then. Even if the government could say that these people are not going to get their salary for almost one year, they know the thing you could have done. And remember, there was such a case scenario how it happened at Machakos, where the speaker and the assembly stayed for almost 6 months without getting a salary from this gentleman, I think, Mutua.
Yeah.
The former governor Mutua, the former Machako governor. And it was during that court proceeding that he was ordered to make the payment. And he was even a position to argue that I'm the one who is mandated to sign their salary.
Yeah.
So there's no way. If I want them to stay for 1 year, they can stay 1 year without getting a salary. That's how people become drunkard with powers.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies to the national parliament. When you find the national parliament, sometimes usually call them intellectual fools. The reason why I hate that, calling them intellectual fools, is because sometimes they are aware that they have been elected by people. They are aware that they have their mandate, but the unfortunate thing, they are being controlled by the person whom they are supposed to be playing an oversight to them.
You mean the president?
Yes, they are supposed to play an oversight to the executive. Yeah. And when we mean the executive, we mean the executive, the ministers, the PS, the presidents, those are the executive. There are three arms of the government.
Yeah.
There is the executive arm, and there is also the national, I think it's the assembly itself, yeah. And then we have the judiciary.
Yeah.
So they are supposed to be independent institutions controlled by its own commissioners and all of it. Remember, we have judicial service commission, we have parliamentary commissions, and the executive is its own. So that's how, if these people are allowed to be controlled by those executives, then it means we are lost, and that's why we call them intellectual force.
So you mean now they are ignoring the interests of their bosses, that is the public, the citizens, eh?
Yes, you need to understand that your boss is the person who gives you that money to go and work. So to me, but it depends. To me, I think we did a mistake because most of the people who have been elected, they were not elected because of their performance. They were elected because of the euphoria of the starting term. Like now, I hope some of the colleagues here, probably some comes from the other side of Nyanza. There was a time I was together with the former Kericho Governor, Professor Chepkone, and then we had a chat with this Professor Nyanyong. And during that time, we were discussing about how euphoria make people who are capable to be incapable.
Yeah.
Nyongo, there was a time he wanted to fight for a seat, even a parliamentary seat, but he was not in there. During that time, it was a Liberal Party during the right time.
Yeah.
And he could not have even maneuvered to get even 10 votes, even from his home area.
Does he reach to the ballots?
Yes, he went on to the ballot, but he was having SDP party. And during that time, the Raila party was the Liberal party, something, NDP, something like that.
Yeah.
And even his village, even his relatives did not vote for him. He only managed to get 10 votes.
10 votes.
Yes.
So according to the matter now.
Because of the euphoria.
So do you think that is fair? Is it fair if your relatives even are not voting you?
No.
Or do you mean there's some corruption there?
Not corruption. What we need is civic educations.
Yeah.
No, corruption is not there. It's civic education. We need to have civic educations. And when we talk about the civic education, each and every person is mandated to educate her or his or whoever who is so much tagged with the euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this phrase politicians normally use that that corruption is not corruption when you are involved, but when you are not involved, it is corruption now because you have to reveal whatever going on. How do you describe that one, or do you support the phrase?
Support corruption is not corruption, not unless you are part and parcel of corruptions.
Yeah.
So you're saying you are part of corruption. If you are part and parcel of the corruption, it's not a corruption. How would you know you are corrupt?
Maybe for me, you know what we are doing. You know what is right and what is not. You know what you have to do at the right time with the right person.
We need to talk about Chapter 4 of Bill of Rights of the Constitution of Kenya. And when we are talking about the right of each and every individual, corruptions is always a corruption, no matter whatever angle you look at it.
Yes.
Who is number one corrupt in Kenya?
I might not even know, because
you need to understand that the moment I come over, suppose these people are the people who are voting. Even at university, we have corruptions. Whatever students are vying for any seats. Suppose these people, or suppose these audience want to vote, we are on the side of the voting. If I cheat them that if you vote for me, tomorrow each and every homestead will be having a cow, and they vote for me. Then tomorrow I don't buy them the cow. Am I not corrupt?
I think that is lowering. That is not corruption. According to the way we define corruption.
So what you need to understand that corruptions is not corruptions. Most of the people are corrupt. It's only that probably you are not the one who is not corrupt, because probably other people are corrupt. Not only, even you go to the church, people are corrupt. So what we need to do is changing that attitude of saying that because, like now, whatever, even when you are even buying whatever the sort of the trousers, you discuss about the modes. So most of people are corrupt, not unless we change that attitude of corruptions.
So in simple terms, you are supporting the phrase that corruption is not corruption when you are involved, right?
No. The issue I said, what is corruption itself? The fact remains, I said corruption, no matter whatever the angle you look at it, it's corruption. So I don't support, you are the one probably supporting it using your word. But myself, I said corruptions, within corruptions, no matter whatever the angle you look at it, a cow is always a cow.
Oh.
So that is a good argument.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if I may ask you, if you were to aspire for any other seat to be re-elected, how would you balance the public interest with your party loyalty?
You see, most of the party itself, people need to understand that is a bus which is supposed to make you arrive on the next destinations, or which you board hoping that you're going to fly for the last destinations.
Just a bridge.
Thank you. It's just like a bridge. And you see, whenever you reach the bridge, it matters on the sort of the way you're going to use to bridge to go the other side. Sometimes if it's on the side of the river, some of you may prefer swimming to the other side. Some of others may sometimes prefer jumping to the other side. So it depends. That is whatever you're talking about is a bus, which can take you to the other destinations. But all what you need to understand is that the party manifesto the party manifesto is the one which is supposed to be guiding you, and guiding your principle. The one scenario is that most of the people use the manifesto of the party with its own manifesto to cross the other side, and the moment they cross on the other side, they keep their eyes closed on the manifesto. That's the one scenario we have been having in the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason why you find even today, there are these students, there are these young people who protested, who are doing the protesting in the college affairs. And when they were doing the protesting, sometimes you could have understood that most of us, even today, have not even understood about their leaders.
Yeah.
But there are some people who made an arrangement, made a sacrifice, and they were even killed by whatever they were doing, or whatever the protester, or those people who are about to protest. But even those people who are killing these people, still they have not even understand the theme of those people who are protesting.
Yeah.
Because these people were not interested about the governance. No, they were not interested about the leadership. They were not even against Ruto. They were not even against Raila. They were not even against Wasago or Huabi. But they were talking about we only need a good governance.
Yeah.
That was the important, that was the theme. But these people, rather than understand that they're talking about the governance, they were killing them. So that the people do not understand about that. And you see, even in the constitution, it's their right, and nobody messed about the rights. And that's why sometimes you find even the government systems sometimes working in a nut. Somebody like Mokomen and others people and going and bringing a press conference or saying that in 1998 that constitution which mandate the police to close the ministry in the media.
Yeah.
And you found somebody like ATNs and others were closed, not to air any news. Forgetting that the sort of the clause they were using in the constitution was that of 1998. They did forget that we had a 2010 constitutions with its own threshold. So these people were acting illegally to do whatever they wanted to do illegally.
Yeah.
Because the constitution itself, it has given us thresholds, it has given the media thresholds, even to cover whatever is happening. And that's the main reason why you find even some media covering those people, covering like that areas, like covering like Israel bombing Palestinians.